Let's crank the volume and dive deep into the electrifying, unpredictable, and downright epic saga of Billy Squier, a rock and roll rebel who set the 80s ablaze, stumbled in the spotlight, and somehow became a timeless legend whose beats still pulse through hip-hop and streaming charts in 2025. This isn't your average rockstar tale. It's a wild ride through soaring highs, gut-punching lows, and a comeback nobody saw coming, all wrapped in a storytelling vibe that's raw, modern, and tailor-made for a YouTube audience hungry for drama and intrigue. Picture a kid from Massachusetts, guitar in hand, chasing dreams bigger than the arenas he'd one day conquer. Get ready for a narrative that's equal parts heart, hustle, and mystery. Because Billy Squier's story is anything but ordinary. Let's start at the beginning. In the quiet, tree-lined streets of Wellesley, Massachusetts, where William Hazlip Squier enters the world on May 12, 1950. Born to a middle-class family, his dad a steady businessman, his mom a homemaker who filled their home with warmth, Billy grows up surrounded by the gentle hum of classical music and the smoky allure of jazz. At 9, he's perched at a piano, his grandfather, a stern but inspiring mentor, guiding his fingers across the keys. These lessons aren't just about music. They're about discipline, passion, and the spark of something bigger. But it's not Beethoven or Miles Davis that sets Billy's heart racing. It's the raw, rebellious energy of the Beatles, the searing solos of Jimi Hendrix, and the soul-shaking power of Eric Clapton that make him feel alive. By 15, he's teaching himself guitar, each chord a step toward a destiny he can't yet name. He's not just playing, he's building a dream. High school brings the Reltneys, a scrappy band of teenagers gigging at local dives. Their set's a mix of covers and youthful bravado. Billy's the front man, his voice already carrying a grit that belies his age. In 1968, at 18, he steps onto the stage at Boston's Psychedelic Supermarket, a venue buzzing with the counterculture's electric pulse. That night, he's not just performing, he's witnessing history. Eric Clapton, shredding with cream, is right there, his guitar wailing like a siren. For Billy, it's a revelation. Clapton made me serious about music. He'd later tell Northern Express in 2009. That moment is a match struck in the dark, lighting a fire that will burn for decades. The early 70s are a blur of ambition and hustle. Billy enrolls at Berklee College of Music in 1971, but the classroom feels like a straitjacket. He's not here for theory, he's here for the stage. He drops out, trading Boston for the gritty allure of New York City's music scene. He jams with Magic Terry and the Universe, a psychedelic outfit that's more chaos than cohesion, then joins the Sidewinders, sharpening his edge, but it's Piper, formed in the mid-70s, that becomes his first real shot. In 1976, Piper's self-titled debut hits the scene, a blistering blend of hard rock and pop that earns a jaw-dropping accolade from Circus magazine, the greatest debut album ever produced by an American rock band. The praise is heady, and when Piper opens for Kiss in 1977, Billy's strutting across stages, leather-clad and fearless, a comet streaking toward the big time. But Piper's flame burns out fast. Internal clashes and industry politics stall their momentum. By 1979, Billy's on his own, signing with Capitol Records, ready to carve his name into rock history. In 1980, Billy Squier is ready to break out. Fresh off his band Piper's collapse, despite their 1976 debut being hailed by Circus as the greatest debut album ever by an American rock band, he signed with Capitol Records, determined to make his mark as a solo act. His debut, The Tale of the Tape, drops in May 1980, a bold fusion of hard rock's grit and pop's polish. Recorded in Los Angeles with producer Eddie Kramer, known for his work with Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin, the album is a statement of intent. Its 9 tracks pulse with ambition, blending Billy's searing guitar work, soulful vocals, and a knack for hooks that linger. The album peaks at a modest number, 169 on the Billboard 200, but it's not the charts that matter yet. It's the buzz. 2 tracks stand out, The Big Beat and You Should Be High Love. The Big Beat is a beast, built around a thunderous drum loop that hits like a sledgehammer. Drummer Bobby Chouinard's raw, pounding rhythm, paired with Billy's snarling vocals and a gritty riff, makes it a radio favorite, even if it doesn't crack the Hot 100. Its infectious energy catches the ear of DJs across the U.S., from Boston to L.A., who spin it for rock fans, hungry for something fresh. You Should Be High Love, with its soaring chorus and driving tempo, is another standout, showcasing Billy's ability to blend melody with muscle. Though neither single charts, they're building his name, earning spins on AOR album-oriented rock stations that dominate the airwaves. Behind the scenes, Billy's relentless. He's pouring everything into this record, late-night studio sessions, endless tweaks to get the sound just right, and a burning belief that he's on the cusp of something huge. To support the album, Billy hits the road, opening for Alice Cooper on a grueling U.S. tour. These aren't glamorous gigs. They're sweaty, smoke-filled venues where Billy and his band, Bobby Chouinard on drums, Mark Clark on bass, and Alan St. John on keyboards, have 30 minutes to win over Cooper's diehard fans. Billy's live shows are a revelation. He's a whirlwind on stage, leather jacket slung low, guitar slung lower, his voice a mix of grit and soul that commands attention. He's not just performing, he's fighting for every cheer, every headbang. His setlist mixes tail of the tape tracks with Piper holdovers. Each song delivered with a raw intensity that leaves audiences buzzing. Backstage, he's earning respect from Cooper's crew, who see a hungry artist ready to steal the spotlight. By the tour's end, Billy's not a star, but he's damn close. The world's starting to notice, and he's ready to make it beg. Then, 1981 crashes in like a tidal wave. Don't Say No, released in April, isn't just an album, it's a seismic shift in rock music. Produced by Reinhold Mack, a German producer fresh off Queen's The Game, the album is a masterclass in balancing raw power with radio-ready hooks. Recorded at the Power Station in New York, the sessions are intense, with Billy pushing his band to capture the live energy of their shows. Mack's production is crisp, amplifying Billy's guitar riffs and Chouinard's booming drums while giving space for his vocals to soar. The result is a 10-track juggernaut that feels both timeless and urgent, a perfect snapshot of early 80s rock. Don't Say No storms the Billboard 200, peaking at number 5 and staying on the chart for over 2 years. It goes triple platinum, selling 4 million copies in the U.S. alone, a staggering feat for a sophomore album. The lead single, The Stroke, is the spark that sets it all ablaze. Released in May 1981, it's a swaggering, sly anthem built on a slinky riff that burrows into your brain. Billy wrote it in a burst of inspiration, riffing on the music industry's power plays, its title a cheeky nod to the stroke of influence. The song hits number 1, 17 on the Hot 100 number, 3 on mainstream rock, and cracks the top 5 in Australia. Its infectious groove making it a global earworm. Radio stations can't stop playing it. It's the kind of track that demands you crank the volume, whether you're cruising in a Camaro or blasting it at a house party. But The Stroke isn't the only gem. In the Dark, number 35 Hot 100, number 7 Mainstream Rock, is a brooding cinematic track, its moody verses exploding into a soaring chorus. My Kinda Lover, number 45 Hot 100, is pure pop rock candy, with a hook that sticks like glue, and Lonely is the Night, never released as a single, becomes a radio staple, its haunting guitar intro and aching vocals resonating with late-night listeners. The album's depth is its strength. Every track feels like a hit, from the fist-pumping "What Do You Want From Me" to the tender "Nobody Knows." Critics rave. Rolling Stone calls it a near-perfect blend of grit and gloss, while Billboard predicts Billy's set to dominate the decade. MTV, launched in August 1981, becomes Billy's secret weapon. The channel's desperate for content, and Billy's performance-driven videos for The Stroke and In the Dark are a godsend. Shot on a shoestring budget, they're raw and unpolished. Billy and his band rocking a bare stage, sweat dripping, guitars blazing. There's no choreography, no special effects, just pure charisma. MTV plays them in heavy rotation, and suddenly Billy's face is inescapable. Teens who've never heard of Piper are screaming his lyrics. Parents are humming The Stroke at the grocery store. The videos turn him into a visual icon, his tousled hair and intense gaze as recognizable as his riffs. To capitalize, Billy joins Queen's Hot Space Tour in 1982, opening for Freddie Mercury and company in massive arenas. These shows are a proving ground. Queen's fans are notoriously picky, but Billy wins them over with a set that's equal parts ferocious and soulful. He's not just an opener, he's a co-headliner in spirit, his 45-minute slot leaving crowds roaring. Off stage, he's bonding with Brian May over guitars, soaking in the chaos of arena life. At 31, Billy Squier isn't just a rock star, he's a force of nature, commanding stages with a presence that's part showman, part shaman. His band is tighter than ever, his confidence unshakable. The world is his. The momentum carries into 1982 with Emotions in Motion, released in July. It's a bolder, brasher follow-up, leaning harder into pop hooks while keeping the rock edge. Produced again by Mac, the album boasts a jaw-dropping cover by Andy Warhol, the pop art legend who paints Billy in neon reds and blues, capturing the era's excess. Warhol's involvement is a coup. Billy meets him at the factory, where they trade stories over cigarettes. The artist fascinated by Billy's raw energy. The cover alone makes the album a collector's item, but the music seals the deal, peaking at number 1. 5 on the Billboard 200, it goes double platinum, selling 2 million copies in the U.S. The lead single, Everybody Wants You, is a monster. Its driving beat and cocky chorus hit number 1. Number 1 on the mainstream rock chart, number 32 on the Hot 100, and become a staple of MTV and radio. The song's video, another gritty performance clip, keeps Billy's face plastered across screens. Other tracks like Emotions in Motion and Learn How to Live showcase his range, blending introspective lyrics with arena-ready riffs. The album's polished but not slick, a testament to Billy's refusal to sand down his edges. He's not chasing trends, he's setting them. By 1983, Billy's at his zenith. He headlines a U.S. arena tour, a massive production with pyrotechnics, towering light rigs, and a then-unknown Def Leppard as his opener. The shows are electric, 15,000 fans packing venues like Madison Square Garden, screaming for The Stroke and Everybody Wants You. Billy's stage presence is magnetic. He prowls the catwalk, banters with the crowd, and delivers guitar solos that feel like lightning bolts. Backstage, he's a mix of adrenaline and exhaustion, signing autographs for fans who camp out for hours. Def Leppard's Joe Elliott, years later, recalls Billy's generosity. He treated us like equals even when we were nobodies. The tour cements Billy as a titan, his name in lights, his future limitless. But every empire has its cracks, and 1984 brings the storm. Signs of Life, released in July, is another triumph on paper. Produced by Jim Steinman, known for Meat Loaf's operatic epics, the album is grander, with lush keyboards and cinematic flourishes. It peaks at number 11, goes platinum, and spawns Rock Me Tonight, a fist-pumping anthem that hits number 1. 15 on the Hot 100 in number, 1 on mainstream rock. The song's infectious energy, driven by a chugging riff and Billy's soaring vocals, makes it a surefire hit. It's the kind of track that could have solidified Billy as a legend for the ages. But then comes the video, and everything changes. Directed by Kenny Ortega, later famous for Dirty Dancing and High School Musical, the Rock Me Tonight video is a neon-soaked fever dream. Billy, clad in a pink tank top, dances through a bedroom set, slinking across satin sheets, striking poses that feel more Broadway than rock and roll. The concept, meant to be edgy and artistic, misfires spectacularly. Billy's core fan base, mostly male and raised on the gritty machismo of 80s rock, recoils. The imagery, deemed effeminate, sparks a backlash that's swift and vicious. Radio stations pull back, fans boo at shows, and the video becomes a punchline. Joe Elliott and Scorpions' Rudolph Schenker later say it alienated Billy's audience, with concert crowds shrinking from 15,000 to 10,000 overnight. Billy himself, in I Want My MTV 2011, calls it a catastrophe. Everything I'd worked for was crumbling. The fallout is brutal. Billy fires his managers, furious at their oversight. He blames Ortega, who insists Billy approved every detail, from the pink tank top to the choreography. The truth is messy. Billy, caught up in the whirlwind of stardom, trusted the team to deliver, but the disconnect between his vision and the final product is fatal. The video lands in I Want My MTV as one of the worst ever, a scarlet letter that haunts him. But was it just the video? Some argue audience burnout was already setting in, fans tiring of arena rock's excess, or that the rise of grunge and alternative was shifting tastes. The industry's fickle nature didn't help. Labels were quick to drop acts that stumbled. Whatever the cause, the impact is undeniable. Billy's arenas thin out, his chart numbers slide, and the momentum he'd built evaporates. The years that follow are a slow, painful bleed. Enough is Enough, 1986, is a valiant effort produced by Peter Collins and featuring guest guitar from Freddie Mercury. It peaks at number 61, selling 300,000 copies, a far cry from his platinum days. Tracks like Love Is the Hero show flashes of brilliance, but radio and MTV are moving on. Here and Now, 1989 fares slightly better, hitting number 1. 64 with Don't Say You Love Me, scraping the Hot 100 at number 58 and reaching number 4 on mainstream rock. Billy's still got fire, but the industry's attention is elsewhere. Nirvana, Pearl Jam, and Public Enemy are reshaping the landscape. Creatures of Habit, 1991, struggles to number 117, though She Goes Down hits number 1. 4 on mainstream rock, a gritty reminder of Billy's knack for hooks. By 1993, Tell the Truth is a breaking point. Poorly promoted by Capitol, it fails to chart, and Billy's frustration boils over. He walks away from the label, done with an industry that's left him behind. Arena rock is a relic, grunge and hip-hop are king, and Billy's at a crossroads. But he's not out of the game. In 1994, he pivots to a new creative outlet, writing Run to Daylight, a screenplay about a football player's redemption. It's a gritty, personal project that gets short-listed at Sundance, earning praise for its raw emotion. Yet, like so many Hollywood dreams, it never gets made, another near miss in a decade of them. Then in 1998, Billy reinvents himself with Happy Blue, an acoustic blues album released independently. Recorded in his New York home studio, it's a soul-bearing departure from his 80s bombast. Tracks like Happy Blues and The Pursuit are raw and introspective, channeling the pain of his career's decline into something honest. Critics praise its authenticity. AllMusic calls it a brave, beautiful detour, but the charts ignore it. Billy doesn't care. He's not chasing fame anymore. He's chasing truth, finding solace in music that's for him, not the masses. By 2025, at 75, Billy's net worth is estimated at $50 to $80 million, fueled by those samples and savvy real estate moves. He's not resting on laurels, though. In 2023, he drops Harder on a Woman, his first new song since '98, a soulful track remixed in 2024 to echo his 80s glory. He plays a rare show with G.E. Smith in 23, his voice still packing a punch. And when HBO's The Penguin features The Stroke in 2025, streams surge, proving Billy's music is as vital as ever. With 22 charted singles, 5 top 10s, and over 10 million records sold, he's a legend, even if the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame hasn't knocked. Offstage, Billy's life is a study in contrast. Since 2002, he's been married to Nicole Schoen, a photographer and former soccer player. They live in Manhattan's San Remo building, a historic gem overlooking Central Park. No kids, despite some conflicting rumors, and fiercely private, they surface at charity events like Little Kids Rock, supporting music education for underserved kids. Since 2000, Billy's volunteered with the Central Park Conservancy, tending 20 acres of the park's greenery. "Landscaping and gardening teach me who I am," he told Northern Express in 2009. It's a far cry from the 80s, when his ego, stories of demanding marquee corrections, and clashing with media made him a lightning rod. That arrogance, some say, didn't help when the Rock Me Tonight fallout hit. But the Billy of 2025 is different. Grounded, reflective, a man who's traded stadiums for serenity. Let's zoom out for a second. Who is Billy Squier, really? The kid who saw Clapton and dared to dream? The rock god who owned MTV? The artist who fell from grace over a single video? Or the survivor who found peace in Central Park and immortality in hip-hop's DNA? He's all of these and more. His story is a paradox, a man who burned too bright, paid the price, and still found a way to shine. At 75, he's not chasing the spotlight, he's letting it find him. And as the stroke blares through 2025's airwaves, one thing's clear. Billy Squier's saga isn't over. It's being remixed, reimagined, and rediscovered one beat at a time. So, what do you think? Ready to crank up his music and join the ride?